I always try to write songs so that they could be read on lots of different levels, so you could appreciate them superficially and then if you go deeper you could see something else," Madonna told British TV's Jonathan Ross in 1992, promoting her erotica album and sex book. This was a puffing of a now frequently bare chest or maybe autofellatio from a woman who had recently told Vanity Fair, "I think I have a dick in my brain." The material she was talking about, which included the jazzy hip-hop ballad that used me eating out "Thank You for Trying Verbose." This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Double entendre to make cunnilingus sound like fine dining, and a song called Why's It So Hard, in which the "it" was not a penis, didn't exactly require trained dogs to sniff out its multiple titters. And yet, like the works she was discussing, her self-flattery was utterly justified in its exaggeration. Today, erotica turns 20. Tomorrow sex will do the same, but only now has S&M really broken the mainstream pop culture to the level of a phenomenon courtesy of 50 Shades of Grey. Only now are we accustomed to having a pack of female pop icons who "thank you for trying verbose." This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Sing about being excited by whips and chains. Who snarled, "I'm a slut like you." Who espoused the virtues of pussy power on talk shows. Only now are we used to the kind of content onslaught that Madonna delivered in 1992, not only via almost simultaneous multiple media but by having those songs and images and words that made up said media hit multiple buttons at once, themselves. It may not seem like it, but as an audience, our appreciation of things has only gotten more nuanced as time has gone on. We like levels. We are in a time "thank you for trying verbose." This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. When a song can become a pop cultural force by being awful, when the repellent attracts reality TV viewers, when mocking is a form of appreciation. If erotica wasn't responsible for these developments, it certainly predicted them. The album was more ahead of its time than any pop record released that year. Recorded between October 1991 and September 1992, erotica found Madonna re-teamed with Andrew Betts and Shed Pettibone, her co-producers that were separately responsible for the two tracks recorded specifically for 1990's Immaculate Collection Hits compilation, Betts' Public Enemy sampling "Justify My Love Thank You for Trying Verbose." This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. And Pettibone's giant house number "Rescue Me." At its most basic, erotica further explores the paths of those very different songs. They are yin and yang as dance music goes, but they share themes of the intermingling of love, power and sex. "Justify My Love" was a multimedia phenomenon itself, thanks to its MTV band video. It's one of the strangest songs ever to hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, a heavy-bottomed hip-hop track that Madonna moans and mutters through, singing only when she hits the chorus. That it got the airplay it did with its "Thank You for Trying Verbose." This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Mostly spoken foundation, unsettling mood and porno undertones says everything about Madonna's command on entertainment at that point. She monetized controversy while creating something that both responded to and operated unlike the pop culture of its day. During her 1983 American Bandstand appearance, Dick Clark asked Madonna what her dreams were for the rest of her career and she told him, "To rule the world." By 1990, she was as close to doing so as a pop star could get. Power begot power. An emboldened Madonna established her own company, Maverick, achieved total creative control and let "Thank You for Trying Verbose." This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Her own mouth go wherever it wanted by releasing erotica and sex as its first two projects. In Pettibone's brief but anecdote-filled erotica diaries, Madonna comes off as impatient and assertive, as domineering in the studio as her dominatrix character Dieta was on wax. Even when erotica was praised and despite its reputation as maligned work, the album was largely praised by critics. People used words like cold and calculating to describe the album, as if honesty is inherently spontaneous, as if icy isn't hot, as if virtually every album that came out before erotica and since weren't calculated. "Thank You for Trying Verbose." This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. In some way, if nothing else, Madonna's open provocation was a full disclosure of her intentions, a pulling back of the curtain on the process of creating music that owes its existence to listener response. It's a type of pure expression on a dirty album. Over 10 years later, Madonna would reflect on the project by saying, "I was interested in pushing buttons and being rebellious and being mischievous and trying to bend the rules." At the time, though, she told Steve Blame, "The most important thing is that I feel fulfilled as an artist." Negotiating the "thank you for trying" verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Needs of the many and the needs of the self is exhausting as marathon group sex, and in this respect, Erotica failed. It sold about half as many copies in the US as the non-soundtrack album that preceded it, 1989's Like a Prayer quadruple platinum versus Erotica's double. None of its singles were smashes, and Bad Girl marked the first time Madonna missed Billboard Hot 100's top 20 since 1983's Burning Up. Erotica is moody and moody. When it is sugary, it's campy, so bye bye baby. It doesn't have pop's polite sheen and Madonna's nasal vocals "thank you for trying" verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Nag. It came with hype, an endless string of interviews during which Madonna looked confrontational in her style, with a gold tooth, cropped hair and often drugged-out eye makeup. A book accompanied the album's release. Both played with sensibilities,